Croatia update.
We're rolling.
Okay.
All right. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello there.
It's good to see you guys. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes. Let me introduce you guys. My two guests today are my two good friends, Goran Miletic.
Yeah.
Yes. And Branko Stinic. Stanic.
Yeah,
Close.
close enough.
Those Croatian names are tough.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think Croatian is a tough language to learn.
For sure.
It is.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know from experience. But the bar is low because I'm learning a little bit, and if I can say like a few things, people are like, "Oh, bravo, you're so good. You're so good."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a word of encouragement, I think.
Yeah.
To motivate you.
True.
Yeah.
So you guys are both from Zagreb, right?
Well,
Or no?
I was born and raised in Zagreb.
Okay.
I'm from Bosnia. I was born in Bosnia.
Oh, actually, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
from
that.
Bosnia.
Well, maybe you told me, but I forgot.
I told you that most probably. But I moved to Zagreb like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. What part of Bosnia?
It's central Bosnia, Kiseljak, nearby Sarajevo.
Okay.
Sarajevo.
Nice. Like small town, village.
Small town, very small town.
Yeah.
Very, I'd say maybe, closed-minded people maybe. But we'll come to that.
In a
later.
small town?
In a small town, it's like usual thing.
Yeah. So what was that like growing up in a small village? This was like the 90s, right?
It was 90s. I'm 89.
89. Okay.
Yeah.
So
90s and 20s.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were born before the war and you were there during the war.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was really tough growing up there because I remember I have some flashes of war, some pictures in my mind coming. Sometimes I've had earlier dreams about it, like the flashes in my mind. I know we were running to the houses where it was the safe place for us to hide from the war. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was hard. That part was hard. But that was like until my 4th year. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
What was it like after, like right after the war? Was it were you guys able to stay like in your hometown or what did you do?
yes, because Kiseljak is nearby Sarajevo. In Sarajevo was like the real war, and we could hear the the guns and stuff in Sarajevo from Sarajevo coming. But after the war, it was like very. I'd say the people before the war, people were very much hanging with each other, Muslims, Catholics, and Orthodox people, because in Bosnia we have 3 ethnic groups. And after war, it was so divided, so divided politically.
Yeah.
But I can remember we were having like our neighbors and hanging out with each other even after the war. Like the war never happened because the house next to you is the most important house you have.
Okay. So like where you're from, there were all 3 groups.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, especially in Kiseljak, because in Kiseljak we have all 3 groups, ethnic groups.
Ah, I see. Were a lot of people like trying to leave and go to other places after the war, or people were trying to stay?
People were leaving very much. A lot of my cousins moved to Sweden, to US, to Canada, from Sarajevo, from Kiseljak. Yeah, they moved all around the world.
And do you ever like go back there to your hometown?
Yes, I come back mostly in Christmas time and Easter.
Okay. What is it like? Is it still the same or has it changed a lot?
It's changed because people moved abroad.
Uh-huh.
A lot of my friends moved abroad. I don't have friends there anymore. I mean, I have some of them, but we do not have contact that much. We don't maintain a contact. But that's maybe the reason for that. Maybe because I have a different identity back then. I don't know if we're gonna move to that topic now because of the
We can. Yeah.
it was when you were asking how was it growing up there. It was hard because of the war and stuff, and also to me it was hard because I was a highly sensitive child, and also besides that I'm gay. I was gay growing up in Bosnia, and that the combination of those three, that was really hard. And I couldn't say at that moment that it is hard. It was hard. I'm saying it now from this perspective because I can remember, because at that time I couldn't sense the sensations in my body when someone talks about gays and stuff because I wasn't identified as gay at that time. But now I can remember that it was really hard because I was actually auto-homophobic. Do you say it like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just go through it without even understanding what you're going through.
Right.
Just later on, you pick up what was going on at that period, which was really, it was stressful, very stressful, especially for a young person growing up. You don't have any support. You don't know actually what's happening. You just know that that you're different, and that that you're struggling actually really much.
Do you think things have changed? Like, I don't know, in Bosnia, your hometown, like for people that are growing up now who are gay, do you think it's any easier or any better, or do you think it's still really difficult?
I think it's better. I think definitely it's better nowadays because people are more open. People are listening to different, podcasts, looking to different movies. I don't know. The market opened.
Yeah, entertainment.
Everything.
Entertainment does a lot to change people's.
It's
opinions.
globalization.
It's globalization, right?
Like in the U.S., people always say that there was that show Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that? It was
Yeah.
a sitcom in the 90s, and people say that Will and Grace did more for gay rights to change people's opinions than like a lot of other things.
Yeah, but then again, you also have some stereotypes,
Right.
which are also. So it's definitely a plus, but it's also a minus because you have some stereotypes that are connected to that show. But yeah, I think.
Sorry, what stereotypes are we talking about? Can we
like
elaborate?
the character who is playing, I don't know the name.
I forgot it.
I never really watched the show, so I don't know.
Was it Will?
he's very no the other guy.
The
One
other
of
guy.
them was very like feminine and flamboyant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
And the
stereotype.
other wasn't.
Yeah, the
there
other
was like
wasn't.
a dynamic between
Yes.
them.
Yeah, but not all gay people behave like that.
Right, that's
So
the
you,
I think most people realize that now, at least.
yeah, but then again, it's a stereotype.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not all gay people are feminine. All gay people are dramatic. In that sense.
Yeah.
Some of them, some of them are, but most of them are not actually.
Yeah.
So
I never watched the show, but people always say that the reason that it worked was because they were so relatable. Like they had a lot of the same like problems and fights that everyday people had, and then people looked at that and said, well, gay people are just normal people. Like they have the same struggles and problems and experiences and successes and
yeah. I think that one of the stereotypes is definitely connected to Cher, because I think his favorite singer was Cher.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I remember that episode when Cher appeared.
Yeah,
that was.
Is that a
really-
stereotype that gay people love Cher?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
but not only Cher. I mean, that was it back then, but these days it's Lady Gaga, it's Madonna, it's
It's Beyonce.
I was gonna say Lady Gaga.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce. Who else?
I don't know. Lots of new Gen Z pop stars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charlie XCX.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Chappelle Roan.
Chappelle.
So I was gonna say.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's.
Is there? This might be a stupid question, but I know you guys don't watch a lot of Croatian stuff. But is there like are there Croatian shows or movies with gay characters? Or-
But there was Bitange i Princeze, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't watch Croatian shows, but I just recently watched a really nice movie, Zechi Nasip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
But that's a recent movie.
That's a recent one.
But
This year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was at the wasn't that at the Zagreb Film Festival? Or
Right.
no?
Yeah.
Right.
It was. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
And you saw it?
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
it.
what was it about?
It was about a love story between two guys living in a really small village close to Zagreb. And, it's also about stereotypes. It's also about struggling with your sexual identity. It's also about, how the community affects us. And it's also about the relationship between the parents and the young gay person who's growing up. It was very, very much relatable in a lot of aspects. So that's why I liked it, because you can relate to to what was going on there.
I think the families in which we grow up matters the most.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have the safe space where we grow up, it's hard to come out as gay. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But when we can sense that there is a safe space in our family, that we will be accepted, then we can easily.
Was there a
out
lot
to
of like was there any backlash to that movie or or no? Was it like well received?
I think it was.
I think I'm not sure, because mostly I think gay people watch it. Do you think so?
Yeah.
You don't reach out to those who would have to
but
watch
what was
it.
good was it was actually broadcast on the Croatian national television.
Oh, didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was,
That's better.
that's reached out to a lot of people.
Right.
But I can definitely agree, Branko, with saying that it comes from the family. For instance, I'm older than Branko, and obviously I was growing up in a slightly different period. So it was like the golden age of Zagreb, which was the 80s, and then later on in the 90s when the war started, we didn't have that much war going on in Zagreb, but we still kind of felt it. I think I had a really nice childhood, I must say. But yeah, when the war started, it's because I was growing up in a neighborhood which had a lot of Serbs, let's call it that way, because there were it's called the officers' houses. So the officers of the Yugoslav army were mostly living there,
Really?
and their ancestors and children. And what happened is that overnight I just lost a lot of friends. They just fled.
Oh.
When the war started?
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
they
all
just
of those
fled.
people just moved.
Just moved.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I didn't realize what was going on then, because suddenly I had friends and then they just vanished, disappeared, and I still don't know where they are now. I think they fled like out of country, somewhere to Belgrade, some of them to some other European countries. But yes, I don't know what happened to them. Yeah. And then again, with the family and everything, I must say that I have a really supportive family. But despite that, I think my coming out was really later on in my, when I didn't come out when I was growing up. So I was really hidden. I was really, very much introverted as a person back then. Now I'm totally the opposite, I must say. So yeah, it's very individual. It's very individual also in terms of the family. It's very individual where you're growing up, like a location. Depends on, if it's an urban area, if it's a countryside. So all these things affect how you actually develop.
But later on, when you accept yourself, I think it doesn't matter if you move to village or city. It doesn't matter, because when you accept yourself, then it you can go to the village, and if people don't accept you, you don't have a, they don't bother you. You know.
Yeah, it's also a process of maturity, of growing up. You know,
And not caring about
not
how
caring
others
about
perceive you.
other people, what other people think, because it's all, you know, it's you that matters in this story. It's not about, you know, some neighbor or what some, you know, other people think or say. It's all about you. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's easier, I guess if you're in a big city, it's easier to find people that are similar to you.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, you're just gay or maybe, you know, or it's something else that makes you feel different. Like there's more people in a big city, so it's you know, in a village it can be tough because you might not have anyone who is similar to you or who's going through the same
thing,
things
yeah.
you are.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's why a lot of like gay people like move to larger cities, because it's easier for them to
be accepted.
be accepted. Yeah.
So do you guys think that like is it easier in Zagreb to grow up gay than like a small town in Croatia?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I think a lot of gay people from all around Croatia come to Zagreb now.
Yeah, and it also
move to
has to do
Zagreb.
with, you know, the culture. Like, for instance, if you're living in Split, I can tell you for sure it's more difficult for them than to, let's say, live in Istria or some northern part like Varaždin or Čakovec.
But I'm not sure how is it in Split.
I think it has to do with the mentality there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bigger
Split
city.
is just more traditional in a lot of ways.
Yes.
More conservative.
Conservative.
Conservative. Yeah.
More Catholic?
I'm not sure more Catholic, but Torcida plays a big part there.
Yeah, that's the Hajduk fan club.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do they have issues with like anti-gay stuff?
I think they do have some protests, or when the topic pops up, they will protest for sure.
Or maybe it's just all kind of related, you know? The politics, the sports, the culture there. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want
I
to
don't-
talk more bad things.
This is a political issue, because, you know, you cannot have the street dictate the politics. Like when I say
Right.
the street, like I mean, you know, the recent events in Split or the recent events in Zagreb. You know, where all this people were protesting and barging into some cultural events. Or
I
something
read about
like
that. I read about that this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of surprising. Like maybe I'm just naive, but because I don't see that like on a day-to-day basis living in Zagreb. But when I read about those things, it is kind of surprising, because I think like, oh, I didn't know that like there's still so much hatred and, you know, like anger among some people that
There's a lot
they're
of
kind of
anger.
willing to do that.
I don't know. I think with the concert of Thompson, it exploded.
It was like an catalyzer.
Yeah, but I think
like a catalyzer.
I think most people realize that it's like more nuanced. Like most people probably would not approve of what those people did in Split.
Right.
You know, like storming the event and like being so disruptive.
Yeah.
Even people that are, you know, a little more nationalistic. I don't know. That's just what
I agree,
think.
but they are too loud. There are a small group of people who are too loud, and no one protests against them. But we should,
Yeah.
maybe.
You know, it's a general thing.
Or
You know,
ignore it.
you always have the smart ones, the polite ones that are really quiet, and then you have
Right.
you know,
Trump.
a really small amount of people that are all, you know,
Yeah, that's
producing
true.
noise
Especially with social media.
and
Like the
getting all-
loudest voices get the most attention.
Exactly. That's true. But that's not, you know, that's not Croatia. That's not
the majority.
That's not the
Represents,
majority. They're just the minority there, just trying to be loud.
I think the football does play a big role, though, and I don't know too much about it, but it seems like with the fan groups, then they kind of get into this mentality, this like this mentality where it's like us versus them.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
feel like they're still kind of in a state of war,
It's a
and they
sub-
want to like wreak havoc
division.
and
It's
cause
a
problems.
subculture.
It divides
thing.
people.
It's a
It divides
subculture.
people.
It's a subculture. It's not only about the fans in Croatia. It's the same, similar with all the fans around the world. Football fans.
Yes.
It's not only football. It's in general.
Sports in
It's a
general.
sport-
But
sports in
football, I
general.
think, is particularly
Yeah.
bad.
It's
Especially
a
in
herd-
other places too. In
It's a herd
England,
mentality. It's nothing.
herd
nothing-
mentality.
Herd
Yeah.
mentality. Yeah.
It's almost kind of like gang violence, because you
Yeah.
have your club and you hate the other club, and if you see them, it's like it's a battle. It's
know
like
what?
that instant tribal.
You know what I think?
Instinct.
I think that a lot of young people these days are feeling lost, and this gives them purpose. This gives them like a sense of belonging to something. Doesn't matter if it's bad, but it gives them a sense and purpose.
But lost in which way? Lost.
Like lost in the sense of they don't know, because all these social media stuff, all these things happening in the world, politics, and then again, situation within the family. If they're left on the street, don't have parent support, a lot of, I would say, socio-economical things causes those social inequality.
Social inequality.
Inequality,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And also just all of the like fear and anxiety about the future.
Right.
With everything that's happening with like AI and technology and the economy.
But in
and
general, what you have the internet, you have the social media, and me as an older person kind of have a feeling what's right or wrong, and kind of have a feeling of filtering all those information that are that I'm receiving. Whereas a young person, I don't think that he has or she has the capacity to, make actually see what's right or what's wrong. So they then you have the TV shows, you have all these TikTok stuff, you have all these challenges like for Viesnik, like I think was a TikTok challenge.
It was a TikTok challenge. I
Yeah, with the fire and everything. So
wait, there's a TikTok challenge with the fire.
yeah,
I've heard it. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I also heard it.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely internet and social media as much as it's a good thing of having it, there are also all these negative connotations and side effects of that influencing young people today.
But it's hard to control it, right?
It's
the parents
definitely-
cannot affect it.
No, unfortunately not.
But you can do some things. Like if I was a parent, I probably, it's hard, if you're a
would you do?
parent and like every one of your child's friends has a smartphone and is on social media, and then to say like, no, I'm not going to let you do that, because then you automatically make them an outcast. But I would try to like limit it and like encourage them as much as possible to just keep it limited.
But would you
You don't always need to be on your phone. You can you can put your phone away for like an hour and do something constructive, and it's just so freeing to not have your phone.
But if they see you like you're on the telephone all the time.
Well, I'm not.
Oh,
so
you're not?
I'm not on the phone.
Oh, it's
all the
fine
time.
then.
Yeah,
Then you're going to be a good
But I saw that I think this year Croatian schools banned cell phones. I think
Yeah,
primary schools, maybe
City, I
middle
can't
schools as
remember.
well, which just makes sense. I don't know how you can argue against that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's in Zagreb.
I don't know. I can't remember if it was Zagreb or all of Croatia.
It was
but
some other city. I cannot remember.
maybe it was just Zagreb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Yeah, when I worked at a school in China, we would take everyone's phone when they came in, and these clever fuckers would bring like 2 cell phones. So they'd have like one to turn in, and then they'd have another one.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Smart kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think like Croatian parents are kind of aware of this? Do you think they try to limit social media and technology, or do you think they just go with it?
Well, I have a sister. I have two nephews, and I must say I congratulate both my brother-in-law and my sister because they're really strict on them in one way. I kind of feel sorry for my nephews sometimes, but now I see that it's definitely good for them to be kind of protected in one way as much as they can and could.
Yeah. Not to sound like a cliche old person, but I feel like kids today, like Gen Z, they're so sheltered, like compared to what we were doing. Like we had a lot more freedom to like roam around and get into trouble and get into adventures. And nowadays kids don't want to do that stuff. They just want to be on their phones or at home, But I will say in Zagreb, I think I see a lot of kids out, like high school kids. So maybe it's different. I don't know.
I think new generations are different. New parents are different because I think new parents can be divided into two groups. One of them is maybe limiting the telephones and stuff because they want to be like a perfect parents, And the other one are like more relaxed. I don't know.
Yeah, go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
For sure, that can be also mixed. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's more difficult these days for younger generations than when we were growing up, especially when it comes to freedom. Like I was basically on my playground when I was growing up, like whole day long. My parents didn't even know where I was.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I was the same way.
I just
Like get home by dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
And there won't be any problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we must also bear in mind that we had pandemia of Corona, which also it was like for 2 years. How much? 3 years. So this also affected in a larger way younger generations. I think it was especially hard for them.
Oh, yeah, especially kids in high school.
Yeah,
where that's like a critical period. Like not just for education, but for like social development.
Yeah,
because you're becoming more independent and you're developing like a sense of responsibility, but you're also kind of figuring out like what type of person am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some doctors told me that after pandemics, a lot of high school children are with anxiety and depression.
Yeah. That's true. I can see that.
Like
that's
a new pandemics.
Yeah, that's
Anxiety.
definitely new pandemics. Yeah.
But I was gonna say the nice thing about Zagreb is that like Zagreb is such a safe city.
It is. It's one of the safest cities in Europe.
Yeah, in comparison. So like if I was like a parent, I wouldn't be worried about my 12 or 15-year-old just like hanging out in Zagreb late at night or whatever. In the US, especially if you live in a big city or somewhere else, like it's not as safe. So it's that concern is like more justified.
Yeah, but I wouldn't compare US with Europe. I mean, this is Europe, and I think that sometimes we forget how lucky we are that we're living in this small part of the globe. Even in comparison to Europe, Croatia, and the neighboring countries had this. I mean, we are fortunate, really fortunate. And I think it has to do with the background of living in socialism as well, order of things, that we have a very beautiful country.
It's very neighborly. And a lot of that's probably has to do with the war. Like it's very recent. I think like it's a small country and then there was the war. Like I imagine, I like tell my friends, like imagine there was my city of Detroit is around like 3 million people. Yeah. That's like Croatia, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, imagine if Detroit like had its own language and culture and people and then fought a war for independence only like 30 years ago. People would be a lot nicer to each other. But we don't, like the US is so big that, like someone living in suburban Michigan, like really doesn't, I feel like a lot of times we don't even have empathy for someone living in like Los Angeles.
Right.
It's like, it may as well be a whole different universe. Whereas here it's not, it's not really like that. There's more, I feel like those Croatian people have empathy for each other.
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think you're not wrong. In Bosnia as well, in times of crisis, for example, when it's floods or something, I don't know, some disaster, people come unite more than ever. Like maybe that reminds them of war, and I don't know. And then they come together and help each other more.
Yeah, because you have a shared experience.
Yeah.
Like you all went through something together.
Yeah,
I think
they can
like
relate.
like in the US after 9/11, I think that was probably the most unified we ever were because we had just like been attacked and all experienced something. So we were like, and then, you know, we were all kind of together. We had this like sense of unity. But
That's the only thing that connects you.
well, I think that was the time when it was when people were the most united. When we didn't have so many deep divisions because we all came together. We like rallied around each other.
And I think it's common when, you know, you have a situation, you know, you have a crisis.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things always bring people together. You know, we had earthquake in Zagreb, and I remember the first earthquake that was in 2020 in March. You had this is a good example of a subcultural group actually helping. The Bad Blue Boys just immediately went straight to Petrova Hospital, and then they helped with the babies, and they helped with the mothers and everything to evacuate the hospital. So this is all, you know, this is actually an example of solidarity in crisis. But I wanted to say one thing also, you know, when it comes to our leaders. For instance, you know, young people, whether they want it or not, they're actually looking up to, first of all, their parents, and then second of all, their teachers and leaders. And then you have President Trump, who he is. We're not gonna go into it, but you know the way they behave, like sometimes like children, you know, you kind of feel, what the fuck, like, you know, seriously, what's going on there? This is also impacting, you know, you have like a false prophet. How do you call it? This is also impacting like younger generations because they think, okay, if our leaders can behave like that, so why can we not? You know,
Right.
You know,
If they don't take on responsibility, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If the leaders that don't take on responsibility, then
you have, you know,
Do you think
We need to
their
hold them
behavior
accountable.
is irrational. It's erratic. It's totally, you know, completely crazy.
Yeah, and like it, I think that started like before Trump as well.
Yeah, but
it's
they're-
that, like a lot
they're-
of leaders, and then the news outlets, they also kind of started playing on people's sense of fear and anger.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, because that's a good way to keep people engaged when you're like making them angry and afraid.
Yeah, I mean, one lucky thing about the States, what I think it's different than in relation to other countries in the world, and especially, let's say, European countries, Croatia, for instance, is that you are one of the oldest democracies in the world, but then you have really strong pillars, and one of the strongest pillar in the United States is the judicial system. You know, whereas here in Croatia, you know, you have the division of powers, you have all the pillars according to the constitution, but then I think that the weakest link is definitely the judiciary and the judicial system.
Is it not like independent from the?
I don't think
from
it's
the
independent.
government,
I don't think
or
it's
from
independent.
the lawmakers.
I think it's very corrupted. I mean, Croatia as a country, I think it's very corrupted. And then again, our leaders, you know, sometimes behave erratic, irrational. You have all the time you have the quarrels and arguments between the president and the prime minister. Younger people look at it and, they're asking themselves, who are our role models here? Where are, and then, of course, sometimes they look towards some artists like pop stars or idols or
Do we
something
have
like
pop
that.
stars here?
We have Severina.
Right.
Yeah.
She was on my mind too.
Yeah, but
Severino.
But
when
are,
you
are,
have
are pop stars here divisive?
no, but you have
Are they divisive?
Yeah, like do they divide people?
In some way, yeah.
Because like in the U.S., pop culture is very divided the same way that it's divided politically. You know,
Of
like
course,
you go to someone's concert and you can sometimes, based on who it is, like what the political views of the audience are.
I mean like Taylor Swift, who is pro-Trump, and then some other who
no,
are against
Taylor Swift is not pro.
She's
She's
not pro-Trump.
anti-Trump.
She's anti-Trump.
Yeah, the guy she's dating, the football player, is pro-Trump.
Okay.
But I just mean with like, I don't know, like country music.
She married that
my
guy.
God,
Oh my God.
Elio will kill me after just saying this. We have a really good friend who's really into
I don't know.
Swifties.
I don't know about your.
Swiftie, yeah.
I don't know about Taylor Swift. I think you'd get a mixed crowd at a Taylor Swift concert. I don't know. But do you guys think that like Croatians are super engaged in politics? No.
No, younger generation especially not, but
So they don't follow like politics at all.
they don't follow politics. But I will tell you for sure one other thing is that the politics follows them.
Okay. Like in what way?
Like when you say, I mean, I was just reading the other day, there is a really good Instagram account about a gay experience. Izvan Četiri. This guy, he's really smart, and his texts are really, really amazing. When I was reading is what he was saying basically that being gay in Croatia, being gay in general, it's a political thing, and as a gay person, you can say you're not political, but in fact, it's very much about the politics.
But where it isn't political,
Where it's not.
where it's not political.
Well, I don't know, but I'm saying it is.
In Croatia, but
Yeah.
where
But is it like a? Is it
it's
like
political
a?
everywhere then?
But is it like an?
it's a political.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying here in Croatia, but it's also very
But
political.
yeah,
but is it like an issue that people are voting on? Like they're voting one way because of the gay rights issue, or?
No, it's not about gay rights issues. It's about how all the political establishment, everything that's evolving, everything that's surrounding you as a person is political. That's what I'm saying.
That it shapes you.
It shapes you, exactly.
Like in what way? Like the messaging that you're hearing from political leaders?
Among other things, yeah. Again, I was mentioning judiciary system. Again, thank God we're a member of the EU. Like I think it was Italy that banned same-sex marriages like lately, and then there was a decision from the EU court saying that, hey guys, this is against the EU rules.
This is a EU thing. Not
So
a
every EU country has to have same-sex marriage?
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, it's not like that.
It's not.
It's like we do not have it in Croatia, right?
We have
Civil
marriage,
unions.
But not a
civil
same-sex
union.
marriage.
civil union.
But if someone marries, I don't know, in Netherlands and then moves to Croatia, Croatia needs to accept it as a thing.
Oh, their marriage.
Yeah, their
Oh,
marriage.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Interesting.
That's
So-
what EU was saying.
So the civil unions, that was like a court decision, or was that a law?
That's
that
a law.
Oh, that's a law they passed.
That's
Okay.
a law.
So I assume it had support from people if it passed.
That's the problem with Croatian judiciary. You have the law, you have the legal system, but it's not.
It's on paper only.
It's only on paper.
So okay.
It's the same with Zadom Spremni. This is the wording. You have some decisions against it, and then you have some decisions for it.
Right,
Then
right.
you have the politicians saying it's a matter of a context. you know, of
Right.
course,
It's okay if it's in a song, but not on a poster.
Relativizing.
All these
they're just relativizing
differences.
it, and then just putting it below the carpet. It's a result of the situation we're having today.
But we also have pop stars we were talking about. Pop stars like
Yeah.
Severina and Thompson on two different sides, We have Thompson for like the Dom Spremni and then Severina totally
What is
on
her
opposite side.
What's the opposite side of that?
I don't know. You mean does she?
Well, what's the opposite side of Thompson then?
It's like totally liberal. I don't know, pro-gay. For example,
You will not hear Thompson, cheering for gay rights for sure on a concert.
You won't see any
Despite the
rainbow
fact-
flags at
despite
Thompson.
the fact that you will have a
Thompson.
lot of gay people attending the concert, which is another thing.
But does he ever do or say anything that's like explicitly anti-gay?
no,
No.
not at all.
No.
I think
I
He doesn't.
haven't heard him.
no.
I
He's more
don't-
focused on that political thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his stuff is more like patriotic.
Patriotic but it's more, it polarizes people. It's like a huge polarization, right? We have
I had
two different.
Actually, I had a really interesting conversation the other day with some friends, and some of them were saying that they're proud to be Croats. I'm a Croat. I don't have problems with my identity. I was born and raised in Zagreb. My parents are way, way back Croatian, even from Herzegovina, which is like the cradle of Croatian people. But saying that you're proud to be a Croat, it's the wording itself is wrong. Like, how can you be proud of something that you were born with?
You didn't choose it.
You didn't choose it. You were born with that. And being proud is something that you work on and that's something that you built. But this was given to you at childbirth.
Yeah, but it's. I think it's more of like we appreciate or we like love our culture. There's yes, you didn't choose the culture that you grew up in, but like we still like love it and want to celebrate it. It's that type of thing. But then it's
I know where you're going. I mean, it's one thing to be a patriot, like to cherish and to nurture what you were brought up with. But then I just have a problem with the wording.
But if you
That's
don't,
all.
if you don't go to church, if you don't listen to Thompson, are you even a Croat?
You are.
You are. Oh,
You are.
oh.
I don't do
my
either.
papers.
I don't.
say
I don't do either of
I'm
those
kidding
two
because
things.
people
And
I know.
and I do have a Croatian passport, so
Oh,
I think that's the
thanks
measure.
To me,
Thanks to you. Yeah.
yeah,
Really?
I helped
Oh,
him with
wow.
the papers.
that's nice.
But I don't know though on the Thompson thing because I look at it from like both perspectives, but I also feel like a lot of people like look at it and they criticize it, but they don't really understand it. Like the Western media, for example, they do criticize it, but they don't fully understand it. Like if you fully understand it and you still criticize it, okay, that's one thing. But I think they just kind of latch on to it.
What do you think they should understand?
Well, I don't know, just like everything about the history of it. And I think if they went to a Thompson concert and interviewed people and talked to them, they would maybe have a different perspective. I don't know.
Maybe.
By the way, I think that Thompson has some really good songs.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too.
He has really good texts
good
and really good songs. Sometimes it just, I cannot relate to the
Messaging.
messages.
Yeah,
that are
but you
given.
don't have like, don't you think that he maybe has like credibility because of who he is and his involvement in the war?
Even more people
I-
could have that credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I heard, there are some. I was reading some texts that they even are disputing what his role was in the war. Like in general, was he in fact really on the battlefield? What's his war story in general? But what I don't understand is, there's a sword,
Yeah.
and there is like, let's go to battle, let's fight. But what are we fighting against actually here? You know, who's the enemy?
I don't think it's like a battle. It's not a battle call. It's more of like a
Show.
Well, it's kind of like a let's remember that there was a battle. You know, that type of thing.
So we don't live in now. We live in past.
We're living in the past.
I know.
And we're definitely not living in the future. You know,
listen. Like I think every society, like in America, we still celebrate the War of Independence. That was 200 years ago.
But how do you celebrate it? That makes the difference.
Well, I
Right?
don't know. I suppose in songs and culture and stuff like that.
There's no hate there.
Oh no, we still hate the British. we're still, we definitely still hate. We still carry that chip on our shoulders.
So there's a connection there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like you were saying, like over time, obviously, I don't know. I would imagine in 20 years there won't be like another Thompson, right?
We don't
Because
know.
at a certain point, it's just going to kind of.
I don't know. It's
gonna
I always
kind of
fear
fade
that
away.
I always kind of fear it's generational. You know, it kind of stays in the family and then it just moves through generations. It really much depends on how you're brought up and, you know, the nuclear family and where who your idols are, especially if you're, if they're parents.
But also, what are the politicians at the moment in power?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
they do tolerate some things, well,
They don't. They're just like
I don't know. I think they're probably. It seems to me that they're pretty moderate on it. Like that incident that happened in Split. From what I read, that all the politicians were very critical of it. They're like, that has no place in Croatian society. That type of hate.
You mean the message they
Well, what they did, and then just the message, like what they kind of, what their actions imply. They were critical of it.
Well, they had to be, because
Of course,
some of the
yeah.
things that were going on there were public offense, and some of them are criminal acts in nature. So of course they have to condemn those kinds of behaviors because we are European Union, and so, sometimes I kind of feel that some of the things that our politicians are doing is just because there's some Ursula in Brussels, slapping Plenković and say, "Hey, take care of the situation.
Yeah.
This is not."
it's like they need. It's like they need to
Exactly.
do it. It's not they want to do it.
Yeah.
They need to do it.
They get whipped. They get pushed around.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't. As the saying goes, small countries don't write their own history, right? It's just they're just
true.
pawns in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's the name of the game.
Yeah, probably still a good thing that Croatia's in the EU, though.
It is.
That is,
I can tell you for sure that it is. I was back then when I was growing up. Zagreb was a totally different city, much smaller,
Probably less tourism, I would think.
less tourism. It was more of you had a different vibe to it. And these days, I think I could say in the last 5 to 10 years, the city has changed drastically.
Yeah, I've seen it, even just in the 3 years I've been here. I think I've seen it change.
And
a lot.
I cannot say it's for the better. I mean, we have, we're a member of EU. There are a lot of events. There's a lot of content to it. Concerts, exhibitions, shows. But then when it comes to quality of life, I think it's slower than it was when I was growing up, definitely, because, when you're going from point A to point B, you have to calculate 1 hour to get, to get where you're going. And especially, I was the other day I was hiking on Sljeme, and then there was just so many people there. Like I felt that the whole Zagreb went there. These days you cannot escape. Like you cannot find a safe haven in Zagreb. Maksimir, Jarun, Sljeme, when it's nice weather, Jarun is full. You know, you cannot find a parking place. You cannot find a place to have some coffee.
Buddy, that is any big city.
I
Like,
know, but
we're not
when I
used
was-
to it.
But
every
when
big
I was
city
growing
is
up,
like that.
But when I was
You
growing
want to
up,
be
it's not that
alone.
way.
You want to have your space. Move to the country.
Yeah, I'm
We're just
actually
not used to it.
I've had people tell me that Zagreb back then was more like uncivilized. Like it was more party atmosphere. Like you could get away with more. It wasn't so like law and order and rigid. That's just what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, before when you know, what do you think before? Like when we were in part of Yugoslavia?
For you.
No, I mean
you.
90s, early 2000s. But pre-E. That was pre-E.
Pre-EU.
Pre-EU. Yeah, that was 2013, right? Yeah, I think, you know, I think it's in general in all aspects of life, not only in like, you know, you have this sense that you're controlled in
Yeah,
each
that
and
we're
every
just
way.
conforming to everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you have to drive a car this way. You have to, you know, behave at work in this way.
Well, Croatians could use some conforming on driving cars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
If
yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes
sometimes I just feel like Zagreb is a little bland, you know, like more blander than it should be. Like you walk down to Kalčića and it's just a lot of those restaurants, many of them foreign restaurants. And I'm like, where's like the crazy like live music and where's the, you know, just that kind of more raw like entertainment.
But we do have some live music.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah, I know we have live music. Yeah.
And we have some really good clubs as well.
Yeah. How is it compared to US? Do you have like live music in clubs?
In the
and
streets, yeah.
Bars, streets, yeah.
In the streets, only in some cities, yes. Some cities are
Orleans.
very vibrant. Yeah, New Orleans, New York City, you see great entertainment in the streets. A lot of cities, I'd say no. I mean, of course, you could find live music in every big city, but
But I thought it was more like a Europe thing, European thing.
live music?
Yeah, in streets.
No, I think you mean like people just playing music in the streets.
Yes.
Oh no, you find that in a lot of big cities in the U.S.
But we're not a big city. We have it even
But
in
we
smaller
have-
I
cities.
think the bar. It seems like the bar is really low for that here in Zagreb.
I would disagree. I would disagree.
Sometimes I see a guy playing like "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" on a flute, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so amazing! They're giving money." I'm like, the bar is that low. You know, you go to other cities and like there are amazing street performers.
I know.
But we
I
have
know.
it too. We have
Really amazing.
Yeah. We have like bands in streets playing with
Really?
different
Where is this?
instruments.
Octagon.
Octagon or
Octagon.
Yeah.
Nilica.
In Ilica.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
like,
like
near the main square. Yeah, sometimes
Near the main
It's not
square.
the-
there'll be-
I was in September. I was in Florence in Italy, and obviously you have a lot of street singers, like opera singers, singing in the street,
yeah.
which was really nice to hear. You know, Italian opera on the streets, but that's also their cultural thing. So, but I must say I must really I think it was in the summers. It's called Zagreb Classics. I don't know if you've been there. It's live concerts on Tomislavac, and I think it was a really good project.
Oh, nice.
So if we had more projects like that, and then in July there was Foliranje, but the one in Strossmajerov Trg. It's also really nice projects. You know,
That's more a food market.
it's food, but there are
Music.
also it's also
But
like
it's not
food
live
with
music.
music.
Oh, it's live music too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They have a stage there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I think it's starting to awake a little bit.
So you think Zagreb's becoming less boring than we're
You know,
a city for young
I
single
hear it
people.
a lot of times.
I know. I hear a lot of people complaining. I'm one of them. I complain. I'm like, if I was like, if I was in my 20s, I'd probably move to like Berlin or something because Zagreb gets a little boring.
But then just go live in Berlin.
Well, yeah,
it's all about the choice.
it's the trade-off. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
all about
trade-off.
the choice. I mean, mobility of young people these days it's more than we have Erasmus projects.
Sure.
We have young people deciding to go to college abroad. It's no longer such a big obstacle. like having scholarships. You funded scholarships, so it's the mobility of people. It's more these days. People are traveling more. Younger people are going. It also has to do something with the raise of the standards.
And after
they
the
can
EU
afford it.
accession, actually.
Yeah, they can afford it. Young people just go to London. You have cheap. I'm not gonna advertise Ryanair, but you have cheap Ryanair flights to most of the European countries. So and I think I encourage that mobility because everywhere you go, it kind of enriches you as a person. You get to see a lot of different cultures. You move. You get all these different opinions.
Yeah. And you gain a new appreciation for
exactly.
like wherever your hometown, where you're from.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Croatians come back after studying abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys have traveled a lot.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of Croatians that don't have that luxury of like traveling that so much.
But I would say it's definitely above average because we're in this part of Europe where it's 2 or 3 hours by car.
Sure, to a different
go to
country.
a different country, to Austria, to Italy, to Hungary, to Serbia, to Bosnia. So it's easier.
Yeah.
To be
Well,
have this sense of multicultural.
Yeah, Europeans are just travel way more than Americans in general. I think you guys just really appreciate
that there's a majority of Americans that didn't even go outside.
Oh, I believe that.
Hometown.
I believe that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think part of it is like economic. A lot of people can't afford to travel to another continent. It's expensive to come to Europe or to go elsewhere. But I think a lot of it is just also no interest. You can find people that have been like everywhere in the US, like to every state, but have never been to Europe, which I think is kind of stupid because it's kind of all the same. Like, all right, there are different parts of America and different accents and different foods and stuff, but it's mostly the same. Whereas in Europe, it's really different cultures.
Is it also because of your country is more like dispersed? It's not that dense. Like in Europe, you have capital cities very close
that are like an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah, logistics, I suppose, but I still think, I still think there's a lot of people that just they don't value that type of cultural experience.
Ah,
Yeah,
it's a cultural thing.
but then you have a lot of people who are romanticize Europe. Like they think Europe is a paradise. They think, if only America was like exactly like Europe, everyone would be better off and happier.
Yeah.
So I think you get both sides of it.
But also in Europe, you have so much different cultures.
Yes,
Every country is different, so different. In
Yeah.
US, it's not like that.
no, it's not.
It doesn't differ
you guys all are similar in some ways. Like you all,
Sure, we have
you
some.
all think like the basic level of a society is like, good public transportation, good healthcare. Like everyone should have good healthcare, and it's not really like that in the U.S.
Western Europe differs a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, and I must say also one thing. I think Croatian passport is now number 8.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it jumped ahead of the U.S.
How's that
US is
possible?
12.
Well,
It's,
we make
the
a lot of
number-
people angry. That's
It's actually the criteria is the number of states you can enter without the visa.
right.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main criteria.
It's probably like countries you wouldn't even want to go to, though.
Okay, you can.
Such as
I don't know. I do know that one country you guys can go to without a visa that we can't is Vietnam,
Oh,
because I was there, which makes sense with the history.
World War, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Croatian passport. I feel like it's not like who has an issue with Croatia, which country in the world has a grievance with Croatia?
But who has an issue with Bosnia? But Bosnia is like I don't know in passport quality or Where is it?
Yeah. Anyway, we're lucky, I think, very much.
Yeah. Do you
With
think
a lot
that?
of
Do you think that?
aspects.
You think that Croatians underappreciate Croatia?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
I think that too. And then when they move abroad, they remember
Do you remember
the
how
quality
good
of
they
life
have
in
it?
Croatia.
Remember-
Like, oh, Germany wasn't a paradise. Damn
You
it.
have
Yeah.
to remember that
Yeah,
a lot,
right.
a lot of Croatian people left Croatia in pursuit of
Yeah, more Croatians live outside of
yeah.
Croatia.
So I heard there's like around I don't know the figures, but it's more than 500,000
Yeah, and a lot
What
of
time
them
period?
are coming
in
back.
the last 10 years.
Oh.
And then I heard that a lot of are coming back.
A lot of them are. Yeah. Well, people like my dad's generation that like
Yeah.
lived in the U.S. for a long time or wherever, and now they want to come back and retire because for one thing, it's cheaper and they probably miss it. But I'm wondering, do you guys think that it creates like this tension of between like people who left and people who have always lived here?
I don't think so. Why? Why?
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know, if you have people that like lived in the U.S. or wherever, and then you know they have a lot of money, and then they like come here and they buy a lot of property, and they, you know,
And on top of that, they also have incentives from the government.
Yeah.
Not to pay taxes for 5 years, something like that. If they have a startup or something like that.
interesting.
You know, actually, I can relate to that because I have, a part of the family that fled Croatia early in the 1990s. They went to live to England, to London, and you know they made a fortune there. And when I remember when I was younger and when they were younger, especially my cousins, they was like thinking, you know, Croatia is a very, you know, kind of peasanty country.
They looked down on it.
Yeah, they look down very much on Croatians. And these days, you know, when I talk to them and then when I see their like Instagram posts, they're, you know, putting Croatian flags, Vukovar, Croatian coast, Croatia is amazing, some stories about Croatia. And I was like, where is this coming from all of a sudden, you know?
Yeah.
What has changed?
What has changed? You're not looking down on Croatia anymore. So yeah, that's one of the factors that I see where Croatia is definitely changing in a positive way. The perception of Croatia.
Yeah, well, it's not. I don't think it's unreasonable to say like they should give benefits and preference to maybe people who have lived here their whole life instead of someone who like moved to England and got really rich and then just wants to come back and like get everything they want. Right?
That makes sense. That's what separates people.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Your question is valid when you asked. Yeah. Are we jealous on that, people? Or something?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you leave, you have an opportunity usually to earn a lot more money, and then you might not have any real connection to Croatia.
I don't know, but when
then-
people do come back, when they retire, or mostly.
No, I think it's
No,
people who retire, but also people who want to raise a family or they want to, just start a life
A more
here,
peaceful
or
life.
open a business here.
Or live more peacefully, maybe on the coast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's safer.
Yes.
Safer.
Safer.
Yeah.
It's safer.
I read one article. It was like the biggest reasons for moving back to Croatia: safety, family values. But then the biggest like drawbacks or concerns were like earning potential, and what was the other one? Living standards. But I don't buy the living standards thing.
No, it's getting better and better.
It's getting better in Croatia when you compare Croatia 15 years ago and now. It's getting better definitely. But when you compare Croatia to I don't know some Western country or even Slovenia, well, we're below it very much.
I think it just depends on what you value or prioritize. Like in the U.S. or I guess all of North America, we a lot of people have like a big house with a basement, in the suburbs, where you have a lot of open space and you don't like share a wall with anyone, but the convenience factor is not there. You have to drive everywhere. Whereas in Croatia, you can live in a big city, even with a family, and have good public transportation and, just be close to everything.
I think different things are important to different people. What is the quality of life? How can we define it, actually?
Yeah.
To me, it's something different than maybe to you.
Yeah, but in general, it's access to healthcare,
Healthcare. Yeah.
access to education, access to
Housing.
Housing, for instance, I think for younger generations these days is quite complicated.
Quite limited.
my God.
But in Croatia and the US.
Not so much in Croatia, but in Zagreb.
In
I think
Zagreb.
especially
Oh,
for
really?
Zagreb, the flats and the accommodation, it's really expensive.
Yeah, but you kind of have to, if you want to work in Zagreb, where usually, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the highest usually salaries you get in Zagreb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to work in Zagreb, you have to live in Zagreb.
Well,
But there's a discrepancy
yeah.
Yeah.
But-
in what way?
in a way that we don't have that much high salaries that we can afford
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
big prices.
Like what
high
percentage of Croatians like in their 30s do you think own a home?
Like their own home,
Like
their own flats.
they bought their
What
own.
do we
I think it's
think?
very low.
Very low.
I think it's very low. I think there are still a lot of young, like Croatians in their 30s that are still living with their parents because they
Right.
cannot afford, moving out and living by themselves.
But how do you say naslijede?
Inherit.
Inherit.
A lot of
They
people
inherit. Yeah.
the apartments.
I think that's not so unique to Croatia. Like, Italy is like that as well.
Yeah, it's also a cultural
It's a
thing.
cultural thing, but I do think that's a shame because, like, if you can't live by yourself in your 20s or even in your 30s, I feel like you really miss out on a lot, like developing that sense of independence.
That's true.
And
That's one thing, one way.
Yeah,
The other thing is that I was looking at an interview the other day. I think it was an old broadcast. I think it was David Letterman, and he was interviewing this Indian, really famous actress or Miss. She was former Miss Universe, something like that, and he was asking her about the fact that she still lives with her parents
Oh wow.
when she was in her, I think it was early 30s. And then, her counter argument was, well, at least I don't have to make an appointment for lunch to talk to my parents. There's
Yeah. There's
so-
good and bad with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I also see that not only in terms of relationship with parents. I think it's also something that I don't like personally, as a, let's say, result of. I don't want to sound like a socialist or anything like that, but I think these days, people are more and more alienated in one respect, and then before you didn't have to make an appointment to have some coffee with friends or something like that. And then now these days you have to, you make an appointment like 2 weeks or 3 weeks in advance if you want to meet your friends, which is ridiculous.
Hey, speak for yourself. I can text my friend and have coffee the next day.
I know, but
Well, you just have very busy friends.
okay.
No,
well,
it's a busy life.
it's a busy
know
life. I'm
yeah,
talking
that's
about
true.
the busy life because it's capitalism.
Yeah.
You work more, you work. Don't have time for your kids. Don't have time for your friends and family. You earn more, but what is the result of that?
But even in Croatia, it seems like Croatians should have enough time for their families because you guys have a good, usually work-life balance here.
I think
I think it was better
all-
before. I think it was better before.
it was better before,
Really?
and we have Zagreb and the rest of Croatia.
Yeah.
So you think people?
different.
So you think a lot of people are overworked
In Zagreb,
and
yes.
overwhelmed?
Yes, for sure.
Zagreb is different.
It's different.
Totally different lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then I was mentioning, the quality of life. For instance, you have to go to work. You travel for 1 hour to work.
Yeah, the traffic.
You leave your
it's
home.
a lot of time.
You leave your
a
home
lot of time in your life.
at if you're working from 9 to 5, you leave your home at 8. Even if you have to take your kids to the kindergarten or to school, even before. Then you after work you come home at 6, half past 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. What time do you have? Like, you're exhausted from work. You don't have time for your kids even, and not to mention friends or family. Other
Use your
family.
bike.
Work from home, asshole.
Work from home.
I would love to work from home. I would really like to work from home.
You cannot afford
If
it.
my boss is listening, please, start one day of home office. Please do that. Do that.
There's a petition here.
Yeah. But I was saying that you earn more, and then what you see is that during the weekends you have a full shopping malls, people buying stuff they don't need. It's all about material. I like some new tennis shoes, and it's a circle
Are people unconscious then of their life?
Yes, they're totally unconscious of their life. Instead of spending some quality time in nature or quality time,
You were just complaining about how Yaroon and Maximir are too crowded.
I know I was complaining. No,
Go somewhere else.
Take a position. What is it?
I'm of course, that was an example, but you can even spend some time at home. You don't have to go somewhere. Just stay at home. Talk to your friends. Talk to your kids. Just talk to them.
Yeah, loneliness is it's an epidemic. I think a lot of people, and I think I've even seen a lot of surveys which have found that a lot of people don't feel like they have any close friends in their life that they spend time
It's a matter
with,
of
which is really
connection.
sad.
It's a matter of connection and appreciation, and it's a matter of you can be lonely even if you're alone. If you're not alone, if you're in a concert hall full of if there are thousands of people and you're with your friends, you can still feel lonely because
With whom you cannot relate.
Exactly. And not only you cannot relate, you're just detached from that. You cannot connect. And that's also a result of social media in one way. You get all these hypes and everything. You get everything from the social media. You get everything from watching a Instagram video, a TikTok video, and that's what's feeding your
Feeding your loneliness.
as well.
But that's where I feel like Zagreb is also it's better in that way, because if you live in the city, it's so easy to just meet a friend for coffee or to go to the Advent market. There's always a lot of things happening. If you want to take a class, like a dance class, art class, whatever, you can do that easily. And if you live like in the suburbs and you live in a house and you have to travel a lot further to meet up with your friends, then it's a lot easier to just say, fuck it, sit in your basement, go on social media, watch AI porn, whatever. But you live in a city, I feel like Zagreb, I feel like there's no excuse. There's good public transport. It's easy to meet people. There's a lot of things happening.
Oh, you think
That's how
public transport is good?
But that's how we met.
What?
Because we're living in Zagreb, and because of the different, because of that lifestyle, we've met in a cafe, and
We were on a date.
that was a
Nice.
date.
That was a date.
Oh, to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then we kind of clicked, instantly. There was
Oh, yeah, I think
friendly.
you
There
told me
was a
that.
friendly
I
vibe.
think from the very beginning we were telling each other that, okay, let's meet up. But it wasn't a date.
It was a date. What do you mean it wasn't a date? It was a date.
From my side, it wasn't a date.
What was it?
It was like meeting you up, getting to know each other.
I remember it differently. Okay.
You know, I can
Let's
say
check
that
the tapes.
I can say that for sure because when it comes to my side, because at that moment I broke up with my boyfriend,
Yeah.
and I think for sure I wasn't ready
For a relationship?
for a relationship or fun.
Okay. Okay.
Let's clear this up.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And we met in
So-
gym, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, usually, like when straight people like meet, did you guys meet on
Oh,
like
you're
an-
straight?
Did you meet on an app?
Yeah.
Usually, when like straight people meet on an app and they go to a cafe or whatever, it's clearly a date. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, we can.
Sure, we can.
Okay.
We need to go to sleep. No?
Yeah. All right. Well.